In this brand new defensive series, we're diving deep into the evolution of Bill Belichick's legendary defenses. We're going to break down two of his iconic schemes that shaped his career, starting with the 1980s Giants dominating 3-4 defense, then the versatile nickel defense of the Patriots dynasty. Then we're going to wrap it up by looking at an aggressive blitz-heavy dime defense that is being used right now by his protege Brian Flores with the Minnesota Vikings. Each of these schemes represents a different stage in Belichick's evolution as a defensive mastermind, and we'll show you how you can adapt these strategies in Madden 25, and we're going to be touching on a little bit of stuff on how you can use it in college football 25 as well. And this is going to allow you to build a defense that can handle anything offenses throw your way, and once you perfect this scheme, you're going to be able to absolutely dominate on this side of the ball. Now, Belichick began his career as a defensive coordinator with the New York Giants in the 1980s, where he helped build one of the most formidable defenses in NFL history, leading to 2 Super Bowl victories. His success with the Giants showcased his ability to craft not only dominant, but also progressive and dynamic defensive schemes, which would be his trademark throughout his whole career. In 2000, Belichick became the head coach of the New England Patriots, and this is where he really made his mark, and because of this run, he's considered by a ton of people the greatest coach of all time. He really focused here on versatility and adaptability. Belichick's defenses were instrumental in the Patriots' 6 Super Bowl wins, utilizing multiple fronts, innovative coverages, and always finding ways to neutralize the opponent's strengths. His defensive genius not only brought championships, but also inspired a new generations of coaches and defensive evolution around the NFL. Now, in this section, we're going to explore the 3 defensive schemes that define different stages of Bill Belichick's career. Each defense has its own unique strengths and philosophies, but they all share core principles that have made Belichick's defenses some of the most effective we have ever seen. The 1980s Giants defense, crafted by Bill Belichick as their defensive coordinator, was built around a powerful 3-4 front that emphasized stopping the run and applying relentless pressure on the quarterback. Led by legendary linebacker Lawrence Taylor, the Giants defense became one of the most feared units in NFL history. They used a mix of creative blitz packages and disciplined gap control to dominate opposing offenses, and this ultimately led to them winning 2 Super Bowls. This scheme relied heavily on the versatility of its linebackers, with Taylor often lining up all over the field to confuse and disrupt the offense. Now, how it's going to work in Madden is the Giants 3-4 defense is perfect for countering teams that like to use heavier personnel with multiple tight ends and running backs. We're going to be focusing on formations like 3-4 under, 3-4 over, and 3-4 cub to create a stout run defense and bring pressure from different angles. These formations will give us a ton of blitz options to pressure the quarterback while having a strong coverage shells behind our blitzes to limit big plays and force turnovers when we do throw these heavy coverage looks at offenses after really wearing them down with our blitzes. Next up, we have the Belichick Patriots defense from the 2000s and the 2010s. Here, they really focus on being incredibly versatile and adaptable to any offense they face. The use of nickel packages became a cornerstone of their success, allowing them to match up against the more modern pass-heavy offenses. The Patriots' nickel defense featured multiple fronts, complex coverage schemes, and disguised blitzes to take away an opponent's top weapon. By utilizing hybrid players who could seamlessly switch between run support and pass coverage, Belichick's defenses could effectively neutralize any offensive threat. This approach was instrumental in the Patriots' 6 Super Bowl victories. Now, how it's going to work in Madden is we're going to replicate the Patriots' nickel defense by focusing on disguising our blitzes and coverages, creating confusion for opposing quarterbacks, and we're going to be using the formations nickel 2-4-5 odd mug and nickel 2-4 to maintain an adaptable front. And we have a special mug blitz package that we can utilize that is just going to bring an insane amount of pressure at quarterbacks. Then we're going to have a ton of advanced coverages on the back end that will make it difficult for opponents to find open receivers, allowing us to dictate the pace of the game. Then we have Brian Flores. He is one of Bill Belichick's proteges. He took the core principles he learned under Belichick and applied them to his own aggressive defense. Now, his teams with both Miami and now with the Minnesota Vikings emphasize pressure and disguise coverages to create confusion for quarterbacks. Flores' scheme is designed to counter modern spread offenses while generating a fierce pass rush. His creative blitz packages and willingness to bring pressure from every angle makes his defenses super tough to predict and difficult to beat. And he is known for having some of the most creative and aggressive blitz packages we have ever seen in the NFL. But he still maintains Next, we have our outside linebackers. This defense revolved around the pass rushing prowess of Lawrence Taylor, one of the greatest defensive players in NFL history. Taylor's versatility made him a constant threat when blitzing off the edge or dropping into coverage. We're going to be using Lawrence Taylor alongside Josh Uche at outside linebacker. These players are excellent to use in our heavy blitz package and can get to the QB with a ton of speed, but then also can be dropped into coverage when needed. Belichick's Patriots defense focused heavily on the nickel package to counter the evolving NFL landscape. The Patriots prioritize hybrid defenders capable of excelling in both the run and pass scenarios, allowing them to keep offenses guessing. So starting with defensive tackle, and the Patriots use versatile players here who could play multiple roles, from stuffing the run to pushing the pocket. Players like Will Fork and like Richard Seymour were critical in this role, able to dominate the trenches and collapse the interior of the pocket. We were using Christian Wilkins and Haloti Ngata at D-tackle in our nickel packages. While Ngata provides size that was reminiscent of Vince Wilfork, Wilkins brings that disruptive athletic element that keeps offensive linemen on their toes, just like Richard Seymour did. Then we have our defensive ends, and in the Patriots nickel defense, they often shifted roles based on the offensive scheme. Willie McGinnis was well known for his versatility, playing with power, containing the run, and rushing the quarterback. At defensive end, we have Lawrence Taylor and Josh Uche. They both provide good pass rush capability and versatility to play multiple spots. I recommend playing your two best pass rushers you have in your lineup at these two spots. Then we have our nickel linebackers. These guys need to be able to drop back into coverage, blitz the quarterback, or play the run. Hybrid defenders like Teddy Bruschi and Dante Hightower were often utilized in this role. In Madden, Patrick Queen and Tyrell Dodson fill these roles perfectly with their speed and aggressiveness, providing an ideal mix of covering tight ends, attacking the line of scrimmage, and dropping into zone coverage. Then the nickel cornerback was a critical part of Belichick's Patriots defense, and during the 2010s until now, Jalen Ramsey would have been a player that Belichick would have loved to have at this spot, with him being the type of hybrid safety nickel player who could excel in multiple aspects, from covering slot receivers to blitzing off the edge. So in Madden, we're going to be using Jalen Ramsey himself in this role, utilizing his coverage skills and speed to apply pressure and disrupt routes from the slot. Now we're going to be breaking down the four players on the back end in the secondary, and these guys will be playing the same roles and our 3-4 nickel and dime defenses. Starting with our safeties, the safeties in Belichick's defenses have always been expected to be the most versatile players on the field. Rodney Harrison and Devin McCourty exemplified this versatility, supporting the run, covering tight ends, and even blitzing when needed. In Madden, we are going to be utilizing Earl Thomas and Javon Holland in these spots. Both players have good speed and range to play deep, but they also can come up and make plays in the run game, making them excellent for both run support and covering deep down the field. Then we have our cornerbacks. Now, physicality and intelligence were necessary traits for Belichick's corners. Ty Law and Stephon Gilmore were shut down corners capable of playing man-to-man or zone based on the scheme, and Belichick loved to have these lockdown players so he could put them on the number one option for the offense, and he could completely shut them down with these players. Then he could get creative with the rest of the defense and limit a ton of what the offense wanted to do just by shutting down these number one weapons. Our cornerback positions are manned by Patrick Surtain and Antonio Cromartie. Both of these players have the physical tools to press at the line and the agility to keep up with top-tier receivers deep down the field, making them perfect fits for this defense that relies on versatility and aggressiveness in coverage. Now, this defense will be amazing once it is all out, but don't forget I have my first mini scheme up for the 3-3 Cub formation live on Scheme Kings right now for this Belichick defense, and there's more vids on the way that will be only found on the site. But then to be a complete Madden player, you're also going to need to be able to score on offense, and I have my ultimate dual threat mobile QB offense. It is all built around using athletic quarterbacks to their full potential, and you can check out the playlist for that offense right here.